I'm Moit, TEMPHUiBIS here, and today we're going to talk about the Nintendo Switch. Now, before I start with this, let me give you guys a quick update about the arcade stick. Yeah, unfortunately, guys, I am still waiting for this final part to arrive and work. You know, it's now starting to become it's starting to get a bit of annoying. It's kind of like the thing to finish off this arcade stick is now out of my control, and that's what's really bothering me. And I really wish the thing could just arrive, hurry up, and then I could finish the documentary and show you guys. You know, if you remember in my last video, I said this was part of 3 projects. I've already started the next project that I wanted to do. Well, the next project's got nothing to do with really, like, it's not a physical thing like this anyway. Yeah, it may not be something that interests you guys anyway. It's just a bunch of commissions and arts. That's, you know, if you follow me on DeviantArt, that's where it's going to really be shown anyway, or on a couple of Facebook pages that I run. That's really it. But as for the arcade stick, just wishing, just wishing that this thing will just hurry up and I'll finish it and I'll show you guys. You know, it's the biggest project I've worked on since the Pulsarific current video. Well, not the biggest, because the Pulsarific current video took 14 months, but it's still a massive project, and I can't wait to show people. I can't wait till it's 100% done and to show people. And yes, people, Tekken 7's still sealed. I'm not playing it. Until it's done. Alright, so now we're getting back to the Nintendo Switch. Sorry guys, my throat's a little bit bad. I know I can do that a bit better. Alright, so I was supposed to do my thoughts on the Nintendo Switch, when I first saw the trailer, because I got some thoughts to say about it. I was supposed to do a video on my thoughts after I played it at a convention that Nintendo did in central London. You know, didn't really get a chance to do videos at any of those times. So now I'm going to do a video on the fact that now I have the Nintendo Switch, and as you can see, you can tell what game I already have with it, which is Splatoon 2. You know, I knew I was going to get Splatoon 2 down the line, so I thought when I saw the actual pack with it, I thought, might as well get it, you know. And when I ordered that, I also ordered 3 games of it at the time. The 3 games actually arrived one day earlier than the Switch. So let's go over the games. So I have here, can you guys see it? Oh, okay, there you are. I have here Super Bomberman R. You know, I had to get this game, you know, for simple reason. You know, I'll get to that in a minute. And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You know, I was one of the guys who was going to buy Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U, but found out there's no battle mode and decided, well, forget that. Now, the battle mode isn't the best of all battle modes and everything, if I have to be 100% honest. It's still a little fun, I suppose, but there's been better battle modes on Mario Kart. But at least they got a battle mode on here, so I decided to get this one. You know, got another game as well, and I think if everybody knows me very, very well, and they've been watching all of the Nintendo Switch games and trailers and everything like that, everybody knew, that I was interested in this game, before I even saw it. Everyone knew that TEMPHUiBIS was going to buy this game. You know me very well. You knew that as soon as ARMS was released, you knew that I was going to buy ARMS. Like, are you even shocked that this is in my hand right now? So, what I'm going to talk about is the console. Let's talk about the trailer first, right? The thing that just hooked me straight away in the trailer, right, was seeing this person play his Nintendo Switch on the plane. Now, that was beautiful for one specific reason. Me and my friend went to Dublin in 2015, and we were both on the plane. I had my Wii U in the bag because I knew we were going to play at the hotel while we're going through the days, going looking for all that, going to this place, going to that place, over there. I know that we'll come back to the hotel and just be there for the rest of the night, and probably won't do much outside. So therefore, we'll probably play the Wii U then. and we were playing Yoshi's Woolly World. We've been banging that game out. But when we were on the plane though, I was doing random rubbish on my phone. He was doing random rubbish on his phone. Now, as soon as I saw this trailer, I'm just thinking, we could have, if the Wii U did that, we could have been playing Yoshi's Woolly World on the plane. Right off the bat, that's exactly what you know what I mean? Nothing else you can say. That was a pretty brilliant idea right off the bat because of that aspect. You know? And now that same friend, yeah, lives pretty close to me, and I've actually been banging out the idea. There are times when I usually go to his house, and he's getting ready for work and everything, and I just usually speak to him before he goes to work and everything. Yeah, that's just something we usually do all the time. This time, I went around his house and I bought Super Bomberman to his house, and we did a couple of levels before he went to work. Couldn't do that with the Wii U, because obviously he's going to work. He can't just come over here and have a quick couple of levels. He had to he has to go work. He goes work earlier than I go work, basically. So you know, it's just pretty funny how we can just swab in a few quick games here and there. You know, even if we have to play on a small little screen. Well, to be honest, it's not that small. When you think about it, it's not that small. It's just mostly it's a little bit smaller than a tablet, but yeah, but it is pretty good. It is a pretty good system, and I do like the idea of how it does it, how it works, because you get to play. Because obviously you come with one Joy-Con set, and you can either just simply play 2 players, or connect it to this and play with one, or connect it to this and play it as if it's a handheld. It's just, that's the one thing I really always have respected about Nintendo, and I've always loved this about Nintendo. They are the only consoles that does official controllers in so many different ways. You know, that's one thing that Sony never did, which I thought, and one time Sony had an opportunity to do it with the PS3. You know, I was always this person there. When I remember playing the Atari 2600, I used to see all these different official controllers. The one I had was completely different to the one that all my other friends had, and you think that all of them were unofficial controllers, but they were actually all official. The Mega Drive had 2 official controllers, the 3 button and the 6 button, and actually I think they had an arcade stick as well. Or did they? Did they have an official arcade stick? No, I can't remember. But and then when the PS3 came out, there was you had the DualShock 3, but there was also a Boomerang controller, which a lot of people wanted to try, a lot of people wanted to see, and it got heavy criticism. My personal opinion is they could have just released them both. They could have done them both, because it gives different ways of playing. That Nintendo always continues to do that. They always continues to make different ways of playing. So that's kind of what I respect about Nintendo. You know, another brilliant thing here that I like from Nintendo, from the Switch, right? Yeah, and this was one that I've always said, even back in my Temps 20 gaming video, 20 gaming questions. It has cartridges. Now you know, yeah, that one thing that Nintendo are doing is that they just want to keep the simplicity of a console. You know, I think the fact that there's cartridges is just great. You know, it's just this small cartridge here. I mean, one thing was a bit silly here, obviously, is this big massive case. Okay, it's not massive, but I mean, like, this small cartridge just goes down here like that. There's no instruction booklet whatsoever. So the fact that you got this wide case just for this small cartridge, that I can admit that's a little bit on the silly side. But the fact that that the Switch is using cartridges, I think it's absolutely terrific. Yeah, I've always found it funky when you put a CD or Blu-ray, or DVD in the PS3, the PS2, PS4, you always put it in and you see the CD spinning. You're waiting for what is the title to go up. With the Nintendo Switch, don't wait for any of that. Yeah, you just like it's like as soon as you just as soon as you just put it in, it's up already. In fact, there was even a time I remembered, yeah, when okay, hear the sound as you press it in, yeah. There was a time when I was putting the cartridge in and it loaded on the I saw it load on the screen before I even heard that click. That means it's reading it or more or less as soon as it's like as if you're reading it before you've even put it in. Like it's probably reading it already. Okay, it's off for now, but it's probably reading it from this point here and all that, and it just loads quick. It's not even like load. It's just on. It's just on. It's almost like you just turn the light switch on and your light comes on. It just put it in, done. Just done. You know. That's why I always thought cartridges were better than CDs, because cartridges always just goes bam bam, and I always believed the real reason why cartridges wasn't why cartridges came out of fashion is because they never could hold so much data on them. Blu-rays and CDs, yeah, could always hold more data. I understood that, but I think now we're in an age where, you know, memory cards, like, what's it called? Memory card, memory sticks, SD cards, and all that. Those are cartridges, and they will hold loads of data. So I'm thinking, why can't they go back to cartridges now? And they've done it. It's like as if someone was listening to me out there. Someone gets the picture of what I was saying. So that right there is big points for the Switch. It's definitely a big point. Definitely big points for the Switch. You know, like I said, right now I just don't have much negatives to say about it. You know, guess what even works on the Nintendo Switch? You know, my arcade stick. I actually couldn't believe that. As you know, I've been making this arcade stick here for 7 months and everything that year, and I knew what I was planning to work on. I never expected it was going to work on the Nintendo Switch, and yep, I actually used the arcade stick to play Bomberman. It's pretty damn cool, you know. So after when I first actually played the Switch at when I first actually played the Switch at the convention, I was playing I think the first game I went straight for was ARMS, and man, I just enjoyed the way the game played. I really did enjoy how of a different type of game it is, you know, something definitely new. And I was looking at some of the characters, and at the time they only showed 5 characters. I liked Ninjara, and I used Ninjara and it was brilliant. I tried using someone else here, Master Mummy. That didn't go very well because of you got to. I mean, what made me like the game more, because you realise what makes the game good is that you really got to think about the character you pick and what arms you give them, because it can really affect how you play it, and you got to know the differences with each character as well. And it's not one that you can just pick up and just think, okay, I'll just go in there and do this. I mean, it may work against the computer at level 2 level, but if you want to really beat the computer at a real high level, you really got to think about what you're doing. Then I got to play 1-2 Switch on the Nintendo Switch. Yeah. Now, in my personal opinion, that game is funny. You can have a laugh with that game. It's definitely a type of party game that I personally think was great. But it's not a game that I don't think anyone's really going to spend £50 on. That's a game that should have came free with the Switch, just like how we play and we sport. Yeah, we sport came with the Wii. So, so I'm a little bit. So it's a little bit of a disappointment. People, I mean, some of the games in the 1-2 Switch was pretty funny. The cowboy one, that was very, very funny. And the milking the cow thing, that was pretty. It's just funny games, really. It's just funny, you know. That's nothing I've got to say. The motion controls when playing ARMS and playing Switch and everything, yeah, I think it was so accurate. I think it was so perfect. But personally, better than the Wii, to be honest. I think the motion was just controls are just spot on, just perfect and everything. Um, yeah. What else? What else was I gonna speak? Well, oh yeah, and I had to play with the Mario Kart battle mode at that time as well, and I enjoyed that. I knew I said right there and then I knew I was going to get Mario Kart. I also got a little bit of time to play Zelda, not so much, and game's pretty cool and everything and all that. Yeah, but I was never really a Zelda person. You know, I only bought literally one Zelda game in my whole life, and that was Ocarina of Time. Never really got anything else. Never really got anything else done really, but yeah, and I know been speaking to a lot of people, and they all been shocked that I have a Switch, but I don't have Zelda. You know, well, like I said already, man. Everybody knew, yeah, that everyone knows what type of gamer I am. Everybody knows what type of games I was going to play, and everybody knew that ARMS was more of a priority than Zelda. You know, um, so yeah, let me get back to the reason why I was talking to you about with Super Bomb Man. Yeah, so me and this friend I was talking to you about, who I went to Dublin with, basically, during the Mega Drive days, we were playing Mega Bomb Man. Me and him, we like to co-op on games a lot. We always like co-op and stuff, right? Yeah. We were doing co-op on the battle mode against computer, and we were always enjoying that. Uh, I always wanted story mode was a great story mode on Mega Bomberman, and unfortunately, that story mode was not co-op, and I always wanted to do co-op on that type of mode. And I even remember at one point I did a level, he did a level, I did a level, he did a level, and we were always talking about, man, imagine if it was just simply co-op. They have finally made it co-op now. The story mode is now co-op. It's got its funny little scenes in it and everything and all that. I think a lot of people have been saying that it's pretty a lot of people have been saying a lot of people have been saying that the co-op is a rubbish game and everything and all that. Um, I think that what it is, the situation is, the game is almost like the Mega Drive version, you know. And people want new, people want more. I think that's really what the truth of it is, you know. You know, one thing I can say about the analog sticks is sometimes I think they might be a little bit too sensitive, like a little bit loose. That you're probably that if you was about to walk, like, let's say, like left or right, you'll probably do that. If your finger is down a tiny bit, it's gonna go down, almost like he's going diagonal. Even if you're not going like this, you know, it's just that little bit. So I do think, yeah, that is a bit loose. It is a little bit too sensitive, in my opinion. Maybe that's one little negative I may have here for the Switch. But my arcade stick, you know, still unfinished, of course. I can still play it with the arcade stick, and it's actually smoother with the arcade stick. So that's one thing I'm enjoying there. Uh, Mario Kart Deluxe, there's not really much more I can say on it, really, because everybody already knows what Mario Kart 8, 8 is, and the Deluxe is just basically has all of the DLC in it. It's got all the characters, and of course it's got a battle mode. The balloon battle mode, yeah, it definitely isn't like the others, but there's another battle mode which is kind of like a cops and robbers game, and I think it's pretty fun. That's definitely a fun thing. That's fun. Me and my friends are going to be banging that out soon as well, a bit more often. Uh, is there anything bad I could say about ARMS? Unfortunately, yeah, there is. There's one thing that ARMS needs, and I'm surprised it didn't have in the first place, and that is button mapping. You know, so people can just change the buttons. Because the way the button layout is, because keep in mind, you don't actually have to play ARMS with the motion controls. You can actually play ARMS like natural, like a lot of people may do. And I'm going to be honest, the button layouts for ARMS, I don't really like it for for if I was to play. Well, this is at the moment. This is the way. This is the way I'm playing ARMS. People are thinking, "Hey, ain't you playing the arcade stick with ARMS?" Well, I can't. I can't play the arcade stick with ARMS because of the button mapping. Basically, to block, yeah, this you got to the analog stick. You got to press it in. That's how you block. So obviously with the arcade stick, you don't press you don't press a stick down, do you? You know, the button on the arcade stick that represents when you press that down is well away from all the other buttons, so it's more harder to play. That's the unfortunate thing. If you could change the buttons, I would have changed the button to one of the buttons, obviously next to the punch buttons, and that would be more easier. And then I could play ARMS with the arcade stick, and I would love the game even more than I'm loving it now. It'd be the perfect game, you know. I mean, I don't even like the block being what it is, even when I play with this, really. I mean, you probably should try and get used to it, but most people probably won't get used to it and just probably won't play it, and that's the sad thing, you know. It's the only thing that's stopping the game from being perfect, you know. So it's hard to give it a 5-star. But yeah, still, but you know, hopefully they may release a update in the future. I already asked the Nintendo crew if they will, and they gave me a response and said that there's no plans to doing a firmware update for it. It's just like, but if they bring out ARMS 2, hopefully they listen to the fans, because a lot of the fans have been saying that it needs a button mapping. I mean, I hate to sound like I'm nitpicking and everything, yeah, but usually when you sort out these little nitpicks, you usually get the best perfect game. I think that's one of the reasons why Smash Brothers has always been a success. You know, it is 2017. The last time a fighting game came out that didn't have button mapping was in the Mega Drive days. And the 90s. So you got to think of that from that certain aspect. So, would I recommend anyone to get a Switch? Right. As much as I'm loving this console and everything in a way, yeah, I still got to admit it's still a side console. It's not a console that I will have alone, like a lonely console. It's not what I would buy it alone. It's got to be in conjunction with a PS4 or with an Xbox One. That's what I see with it. You know, if you have all three consoles, that's great. If you have just a PS4, that's great. If you have an Xbox One, that's great. If you have an Xbox One with a Switch, that's great. If you have a PS4 with a Switch, that's great. If you have a Nintendo Switch on its own, well, you've got to. If you really, really, really love the games, and they keep you, if they keep you together like that, then cool. You know, we all know that the Switch obviously doesn't have like DVDs that you can play. It doesn't have It doesn't like. You know, you can't watch films on it and all that. You can't watch do it all those other things on that. But you can. But as you know, the game's all about simplicity, and you know, it's all about just playing. It's all about just a console, really. They just wanted to just make a console where you're just doing the stuff that you did back in the old days. You know, this is one of the reasons why I'm actually planning to make a video called "Why I Respect Japanese People." And part of this Nintendo Switch is actually on that, because you know the best, because I think because Nintendo could have done so many things that caters to a lot of what a lot of people want, but they rather just stick to their guns and stick to what they feel makes gaming, and I just respect that. I always respect that. So that's I think that's everything I got to say about Switch. I know what games I'm planning to get. Oh, I forgot to mention to you guys. I also got a game called Flip Battle, and Flip Battle is that's definitely a fun game to play with friends as well. Yeah, because you got to flip colors and you got to try and knock people off and what, yeah, and gain points and game. But it's a very fun game as well. I bought that one online, and I use the arcade stick to play that as well. You know, it's very funky. It's pretty funky. But yeah, there's nothing else to say about the Switch. I'm planning to get Ultra Street Fighter 2, probably when it goes down a bit. Also gonna play a few more games online because like they they've added some Neo Geo classics to it, which I think is terrific. And I might probably buy a couple of Neo Geo classics to bang those games out a bit, you know. And yeah, I really haven't got much to say. Oh yeah, they said oh yeah, they one thing the game Switch also has is that you can capture screenshots during gameplay. They say that later on they're going to add video to it. That's something that uh I can't wait for to happen because then if that case happens, then maybe I'll be able to show some video game footage to you guys as well. You know, me getting my ass kicked on Arms and Mario Kart, or me kicking ass on Arms and playing a lot of Splatoon 2. I've been going up and down, up and down. Oh, that's true. I forgot to speak to you guys about what I think about Splatoon 2. Well, it's just a damn brilliant fun game. There's so much you can do in it. I haven't done too much of the campaign because there is actually a big campaign because this is an online type game really, and you know I've been swiping been playing against a load of guys, a few of my friends as well, and I lose some, win some. There's nothing else you can do, and you just enjoy the game, enjoy the sport, and enjoy getting all the weapons, enjoy updating your weapons. You know, there's not really too much to say on that one, yeah. But yeah, I think that's everything really. I can't really say any more. I am enjoying this console. It's good to have as a sidekick, yeah, next to my PS4. I'm still playing my PS4 more, you know, and just hopefully Arms just releases a firmware update. That's it. That's it, guys. That's all I got to say for you guys. My next video is I'm not sure. Hopefully this thing arrives soon, and I can finish editing the video and get it out there for you guys, right, man? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people can't wait to see it because obviously this is when you've worked on something here for over 7 months now, it's like, damn, you know you can't wait to show it out to people, and you know other people can't wait to see it. So that's all I gotta say, guys. Yeah, thanks very much. I'll speak to you all later. Love who you are.